I don't have to play Barbie or be in the movie in any capacity. I'm happy just to produce. And she was like, no, I really want to write this for you. And she wrote me an amazing part, so I'm very grateful.
Well, I'm not the type of actor who can act without producing, you know? Like, you can't just put me in any clothes and give me any words and have me step in and transform.
Blake Lively has been getting blasted lately, especially with the whole Justin Baldoni lawsuit mess. But what if I told you her bullying tactics didn't just start with "it ends with us"? Nope, she has been like that on every other set that she's worked on. And now, one of her victims, none other than Margot Robbie, is finally speaking up about how Blake made life hell for her on the set of Barbie. Y'all know Barbie was supposed to be this celebration of femininity, teamwork, and like girl power, but somehow Blake found a way to make it all about her. This is crazy, y'all, and it looks like she just can't catch a break. So what really went down? Let's dive right in. So when casting for Barbie was in full swing, Blake's name was thrown into the mix real quick, and honestly, it kind of makes sense at first. I mean, she had that history with America Ferrera from the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, so there was already some girl power nostalgia attached to her name. Plus, let's be real, she's got that classic blonde Barbie aesthetic that could have fit right in with Greta Gerwig's pastel-colored feminist masterpiece. But here's where it gets messy. Insiders say that Blake didn't want to just be a Barbie. She wanted to be the Barbie. While Margot Robbie, Issa Rae, Dua Lipa, and Harry Neff were embracing the idea of a collective, diverse cast where everyone shined, Blake reportedly had other plans.
And of course, we've got Dua Lipa as our mermaid Barbie. And I certainly have a slide that goes from my bedroom down to my pool. And it was so fun.
She wanted creative control, she wanted more screen time, she wanted script changes to elevate her character beyond what was originally written. Like, girl, this wasn't the Blake Lively show. And if this is sounding a little familiar, it's because it's eerily similar to what went down on the set of It Ends With Us. I mean, didn't we just hear complaints from the cast and directors about her being difficult? Now, here's the thing. Margot Robbie wasn't just the star of Barbie. She produced the movie through Lucky Chap Entertainment. So, like, she had a say in how things went down. And when Blake started making all these extra demands, Margot was like, nah ma'am, not on my set. I mean, even Margot herself was willing to audition to get cast in her own movie. But of course, she didn't, so who did Blake think that she was?
I didn't actually audition for the role of Barbie. I produced the film, so I guess I cast myself, but I did make it very clear to Greta being our writer and director. She was always who I wanted to make a Barbie movie with. I said to her when she said, yes, I'll come on board, I don't have to be in the movie.
And y'all, it only gets worse because when Margot and Greta Gerwig didn't cave to her demands, Blake's true colors started showing. And let's just say, it wasn't very Barbie core. What makes this whole situation even more fascinating is how it all went down so quietly. Like, normally when an actress is in serious talks for a major role and then suddenly vanishes, the streets start talking. There are whispers, there are leaks, and sometimes even a little subtle shade gets thrown into the interviews. But in this case, Margot handled it so smoothly that it never even became a public scandal. And looking at the results, a $1 billion box office hit, critical acclaim, and a lasting cultural impact, it's clear Margot made the right call. Nobody walked out of that theater thinking, you know what that movie needed? More Blake Lively. See, unlike other actresses who embraced the collaborative nature of the film, Blake wanted more. She wasn't content with blending in. She needed a standout moment, something that would make her role bigger, more significant. And if all of this sounds familiar, it's because it is. She pulled out the exact same move on the It Ends With Us set, and we all saw how that turned out. A whole lawsuit with Blake accusing Justin Baldoni of ex-harassment after she didn't get her way. And honestly, Blake has said it herself multiple times.
I realized that half of the actors that I admire most were people who were more filmmakers, or people who had to get their hands in the storytelling and the writing and the creating and the environment, and people that I respected so much. And I was like, oh, okay, there's two different categories, and I'm in this category, and that's okay. So once I started embracing that and leaning into it and not feeling embarrassed about it, I think I was able to do the best work, and so that's why I'm so proud of this film.
Like, sometimes you just gotta take the role and chill. But now, she always wants to be the boss, and when she doesn't get her way, suddenly there's drama. Now, this is where it gets juicy because Margot had no problem bribing Ryan Gosling with daily gifts to get him to play Ken in the Barbie movie. She was all in making sure that Gosling took the role, hyping him up, and securing the perfect Ken. Margot even said herself that Ryan's performance elevated the entire movie.
In the end, I promised Ryan a present every day if he did the movie, and then when he did do the movie, I was like, oh shit, I gotta get so many presents.
What kind of presents?
Just Ken-related things, like a puka shell necklace or, you know...
A horse-themed mat.
Horse-themed, yeah, like horse-themed lunchbox, something like that.
But Margot never put that same energy and effort into Blake Lively. She could have cast her in Barbie somewhere. She could have reached out for any project, but she didn't. And there's a reason for that. Blake was about to pull the same stunt that she did with Justin Baldoni and probably accuse Ryan of harassment too. I mean, we have all seen what she pulled. And let's be real, Margot wasn't about to let that happen. Guys, do you remember how back in the 2010s there were rumors about Blake Lively and Ryan Gosling? Yes, Blake was briefly linked to Mr. Kennergy himself. They were spotted together hanging out and it was giving something. But then out of nowhere he dropped her. She quickly rebounded with Leonardo DiCaprio before finally settling with Ryan Reynolds. But don't get it twisted, Blake and Ryan Gosling definitely had a moment. So let's connect the dots. Margot Robbie fought hard to get Ryan Gosling in Barbie, showering him with gifts, building him up as the perfect Ken. Meanwhile, Blake Lively couldn't even get him to text her back. But if we're being honest, setting up Ryan Gosling for harassment and SA allegations would have been the perfect revenge for Blake after getting left on red. And listen, I am not saying that to be evil, but if I were Blake Lively, I might have considered it. Plus, this wouldn't be the first time that Blake used the media to her advantage. When she wanted to leave Gossip Girl, suddenly there were mysterious reports about her wanting to focus on film. That's when her relationship with Leo flopped. The press miraculously started pushing the narrative that she and Ryan Reynolds were getting serious before his divorce was even finalized. And when things didn't go her way on It Ends With Us, a whole legal mess erupted, painting her as the victim in a situation she tried to control. So imagine if she pulled the same stunt with Ryan Gosling. Not only would it ruin Margot Robbie's film, but it also could cause tension in Margot's real-life relationship with Ryan, because let's be honest, Ryan Gosling and Margot Robbie had undeniable chemistry on screen, and the way that Margot gushed over him, Blake was probably watching from the sidelines, plotting.
I'm Margot Robbie, and this is young Hercules, or Noah from The Notebook.
Oh.
Or Ken from Barbie.
Oh, good. So it's a public shaming, is what this is.
No, it's not.
Speaking of actresses, it seems like Blake Lively has a habit of falling out with them. Anna Kendrick is yet another actress who reportedly had problems with Blake. So A Simple Favor was supposed to be a dream pairing, Blake as the mysterious high fashion Emily and Anna as the quirky, awkward Stephanie. It should have been an iconic duo. But once those cameras stopped rolling, that sisterhood was nowhere to be found. Things started getting weird during the film's promo tour and fans clocked it immediately. Let's start with that Wired autocomplete interview. Normally these segments are adorable. Actors laugh, they bond, they play with puppies while promoting their movie, but when Anna and Blake sat down, the tension was thick and Blake barely interacted. Fans noticed how Anna was carrying the entire vibe while Blake just sat there looking over it. The whole thing felt dry, and if you ever saw that clip, you know what I mean.
Hi, I'm Anna Kendrick.
And I'm Blake Lively.
And this is the Wired autocomplete interview.
And then there was their interview with MTV. Normally, co-stars hype each other up, right? They say things like, oh, I loved working with them, they're amazing. But no, not once did they ever compliment each other. The energy, strictly business. Like, what happened between these two?
Congratulations in advance, though. I believe in this film because it has to be good. You two star in it. Paul Feud is the director.
These are facts. You're not wrong.
And I believe in your magic.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Bless you.
Now, here's where it gets messy. Blake Lively is known for wiping her Instagram every now and then, right? But this time, the only post that she left up was a cryptic one about a simple favor, and guess what? She didn't tag Anna Kendrick. And when she did start posting again, she shared behind-the-scenes photos from the movie, but still, not a single mention of Anna. Fans on Reddit and Twitter were quick to catch on, like, how do you post BTS pics from a duo-led movie and not include your co-star? That's intentional. Oh, and let's not forget, Blake follows a bunch of her co-stars on IG, but Anna, never. And they even joked about blocking and muting each other on IG.
You're not great. Blocked.
Yeah.
Do you block people ever?
No, I've muted some people. Now that it's a function on Twitter and Instagram, there's a couple people that I have muted.
Good.
Yeah. Blake Lively.
Fast forward to 2022, and surprise! A Simple Favors sequel got green lit. Now, fans were shocked to see that Anna and Blake both were returning because, let's be real, they don't like each other. But here's the gag. Sources told Dumois that their return was contractual, not voluntary. Allegedly, they negotiated separate dressing rooms and limited joint promo. Like, imagine hating your co-star so much that you're literally making sure you don't have to be around them. Now that we've got Margot Robbie, Justin Baldoni, and Anna Kendrick all in the mix, it's starting to look like a pattern. Even Candace Owens had to weigh in on this, so you know it's serious.
First and foremost, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have hired former CIA agents with a proven track record of lying to the public, gaslighting the public, to help her with PR.
Like, Candace usually keeps her commentary in the political realm, but Blake Lively? No, she is something else. Because when someone who's out here debating world affairs takes a break to discuss your behavior, that's when you know you've made an impression, and not in a good way. Because, let's be honest, 1 bad co-star relationship, fine. 2, but 3? That's giving common denominator. And at what point do we start asking if Blake Lively is just difficult to work with? Y'all, this is crazy, but I want to hear your thoughts. Do you think that all of these actors just happen to clash with Blake, or is Blake Lively actually a nightmare on set? Drop your opinions in the comments below and smash that like and subscribe button. And if you loved this breakdown, just wait until you see what I've got coming next. Stay tuned.